And my next guest is from New York City, composer, saxophonist, and Blue Note China Jazz Orchestra artistic director, Kevin Sun. He's got his second endectomorph music release. It's called Unseaworthy, and it features the raw intensity of his trio, which includes Walter Stinson on bass, Matt Honor on the drums, and Kevin Sun on the saxophone. And they're very confident in their footing and eager to show the world what they can do. So here he is. Hello, Kevin. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How's it going?
It's going great. Are you sunning yourself on your chaise lounge on the roof?
No, just taking a walk.
Oh, that sounds
in the neighborhood.
That sounds good too. Where which neighborhood is that in New York?
I'm in South Park Slope in Brooklyn, and I'm walking pretty close to Prospect Park.
Oh, I've been to Prospect Park. It's a beautiful park. In fact,
yeah.
I can't remember who I have had a recent guest on who took a photograph of some sort of a wild place in Prospect Park. It's this riparian habitat, or maybe a little pond, perhaps. And it's a beautiful park. It's a great place to go to. I'm going to open with the first cut off of your new album. It's called Bad Lady, and this is the Kevin Sun Trio here on The Rock. That's from the new Kevin Sun album, which is called Unseaworthy, and that track was Bad Lady. And, man, I just love the simplicity of the sax, bass, and drums. You just get to hear everything so well, and you guys are obviously been playing together for a while. It seems like you're one unit.
Oh, thanks so much, Abe. That means a lot.
Yeah, and you've got you can't see this, listeners, because you're listening to a radio program. But the cover's got a picture of a it looks like a fishing trawler that is laying on its side in the middle of the ocean or on a reef or something, and it's a great cover. And you're saying that the photographer is from Thailand.
That's correct. Yeah, MT Pankovi.
And so is this your third album, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, it's my third under my own name. Mm-hmm.
And are you? You were spending time in China for a while. You were working with the China Jazz, the Blue Note China Jazz Orchestra as the artistic director. What was that like? Even though it's been a while, what was it like being in China?
It was great. I would do maybe 5 or 6 concerts a year, like roughly one every 2 months with the big band, which is all made up of local musicians in Beijing for the most part. And so I just fly over there. I'd kind of come up with a program in advance, all sorts of topics. Like sometimes we did a concert of just Duke Ellington songs, tributes to other composers, different themes. And, we rehearse and just hit, 2 nights. So it's usually pretty quick trips, but, it's always great to see my musician friends out there, my family, because my mom, her side of the family's from Beijing, so I have relatives there.
But,
it's a great experience.
I can't remember which film it was in, but there was a film that it was based on a true story about the Shanghai jazz scene back in the 1930s, which apparently was really big. Do you know anything about that? I'm just curious.
I haven't done any research on that, but I've meant to learn more about it. I mean, I am aware from, some stories I've heard on NPR about, the scene as it was back then and how there were certain standards that were associated with that scene. And I know that, for instance, Buck Clayton, who played trumpet with Count Basie, he spent a few years out there in the 30s playing, and he got out, I think, before World War II. So, good timing.
I'm just wondering if if the music was, in addition to being arrangements of American and other composers, if any of it was actually Chinese composers with a jazz flair, to like maybe taking traditional music and giving it a jazz treatment. Do you know of that?
I don't know offhand, but I feel like I remember hearing that there are compositions that are original, to that scene.
I'd love to hear some vintage stuff from there. That sounds fascinating. Well, you've got this new album, which is you also worked with the band, and are you still working with Cowboys and Frenchmen?
Oh no, but Matt is. Yeah, Matt is still the drummer for that band.
Oh, okay, that's where I recognize his name from, and I'm going to be having them on here again soon. I think for the third or fourth time. But this is well, you started off in Boston, but now you've been in New York for what, 10 years?
Oh, not quite. Almost five this fall.
Yeah, and what's your impression?
It's been great. I mean, it's New York. It's coming back, I hope, and I hope I can just, continue to be a part of the scene here.
Well, this is the title track. It's called Seaworthy, Unseaworthy. This is the Kevin Sun Trio here on The Rock. That's Kevin's son. His new album is Unseaworthy. And that cut was Seaworthy, and in parentheses, Unseaworthy. I'm assuming that you don't like going out on boats.
Oh, I have a story about that, but I'm not going to share it on the radio.
Oh, really? Is it a tragedy?
No, it's not a tragedy. It's just...
I already know what it is. It's about losing your cookies when you're on a boat. I'm the same way. I am the same way. I can go on a kayak as long as I can see the horizon. As soon as I go under where I can't see the horizon, instantaneous. It's
terrible.
It is terrible.
It's the worst.
But you're doing a live stream coming up in a couple of weeks, and how can people watch it, Kevin?
Yes, it's 2 weeks from now. It's the last Sunday of April, the 25th. It'll be streaming live on my YouTube channel and also on my Facebook page. You can just search Kevin's Son YouTube or Kevin's Son Saxophone, and it will probably be the first thing on Google.
And it's your it's yourself on tenor sax, Walter Stinson bass, Matt Honor on the drums, and you've got a gentleman named Dana on the piano, right?
That's correct. Dana Saul will be joining us on piano.
Okay. Are you doing originals or? Oh no, it's a tribute to Charlie Parker, right?
Oh, that'll be my next album, but no, this one is just a set of original music.
Oh, good. But your next album, well, let's talk about that because so that's the same group here, but with a couple of others on the album, right?
Yep. It's Walter Stinson on bass, Matt Honor on drums, and then joining me is a cast of guests. It'll be Adam LaFerrell on the trumpet, Christian Lee on keyboards, and Max Light on guitar.
And these are Charlie Parker tunes, or are they stylistically like his work?
They're actually mostly original pieces inspired by Charlie Parker that I kind of wrote over the past year. A lot of them sort of earlier on during the lockdown. I was just getting really into Charlie Parker at that time and kind of just exploring some ideas in his music that I found that I thought could work for a contemporary setting, and a handful of covers.
You know, a friend just tipped me off. He was playing. He has his own radio show. I think you know Noah Preminger, don't you?
Yeah, of course.
Noah has his own show on WICN, I think it's called, out of Boston. It's a community radio station, and it's called Noah's Ark, and it's on I think Thursday nights, 10 to 11 Pacific time. Anyway, he was playing some unreleased or previously unreleased Charlie Parker tunes with like My Favorite Things, and hearing them talking in the studio and doing multiple different alternate tracks. I don't know where this came from. I sent him an email. I haven't heard back, and I've tried looking it up. I haven't found it either. But are you familiar with that album where it's all that session that came from My Favorite Things, but all these different takes?
I don't know that if he ever recorded My Favorite Thing. I mean, it's not to my knowledge. But,
really? I could have sworn it was him.
I don't think so. Yeah, I'd be curious because, I mean, there's a database online that sort of collects everything that's ever been known to exist.
Yeah.
But
well,
I could be wrong. Yeah,
I could be wrong, too. I'm pretty sure it was Charlie Parker. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was Benny Hill. I don't know. Well, in any case, this album has a total of 5 tracks. So I guess technically this is considered an EP, but it doesn't matter because the music's great. This is a long track I'm going to play now. It's called Prelude, Genuflecting at the Cathedral of the Perpetual Hustle. What a great title.
A mouthful.
What a great title. And where did you get, what inspired you with that title?
I read a phrase, something vaguely in the same vein. I think it was an essay about, millennials being overworked or, work kind of taking over people's lives. And I thought, why not write something inspired by that?
You're listening to Tuesday Lunch with Abe. This is KEBF, Morro Bay, KZSR, Paso Robles. That is from Kevin's son. The album is Unseaworthy. The track we heard was Prelude, Genuflecting at the Cathedral of the Perpetual Hustle. I tell you, Kevin, that's one of the best titles I've heard in a long time.
Thank you.
It's a fabulous title. And Kevin's son on tenor sax, Walter Stinson on bass, Matt Honor on the drums. And you're listening to Tuesday Lunch with Abe here on 97.3 and 107.9 The Rock, Morro Bay and Paso Robles, and on the World Wide Web at centralcoastradio.org, where you can also click the donate button or maybe click the Rhino button and get your Fleetwood Mac Live re-release with about an hour more of material that wasn't on the first record, all for a $25 donation. There's only 10 of those available, so if they haven't gone already, I would highly recommend clicking the Rhino button as you get on to centralcoastradio.org. And right now we're going to wrap up Kevin's son's segment with a final track, which is Facsimilate, Unlike You. And, oh, the bird sounds nice there. You're in Prospect Park, right? In
Brooklyn, yes.
Oh, that sounds so... Oh, listen to that bird. Oh, that's great. Are you a... I don't know if you've ever heard of this. Oh, but before we get to this, where can people get this album again? At kevinson.com?
Yeah, you can learn about it there, or you can search Kevin Son Bandcamp. It's on Bandcamp. That's where I'd recommend buying it.
And you're also doing a streaming concert in a couple of weeks. Can you just reprise what's going on with that?
Yep, I'll be playing one set with my quartet. It's on Sunday, April the 25th, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. It'll be on YouTube and Facebook, and you can find links to it at my website, which is kevinson.com.
That sounds great. Thank you so much for spending 40 minutes or so here on The Rock, and I look forward to that next Charlie Parker tribute album that you're doing. That sounds great.
Thanks. It's always a pleasure.
And, now I remember what I was going to say. Someone, I can't remember, I can never remember anything, but that's besides the point. Someone came up with a whole series of short little musical interludes based on actual bird songs. So like that bird that's singing in the background, they would take that sound and create a whole part with multiple instruments based off of that sound. You know, you know, there's so much, there's so many possibilities in nature with all the sounds that are going on. And you know, in New York, you could add a human mechanical things and you could create a symphony with that. I don't know. I just think what he did was ingenious. He hasn't recorded any of these. He's just been doing them on Facebook. But I think it's such a cool idea to take, you know, the real sounds in nature. And thank you so much for being on the show. And I'll look forward. What's the album called, the new one?
It's called Heartbird.
Heartbird, like Heart?
No, it's like the heart. It's like a less than sign and a 3.
Oh, okay.
You're going to text it to someone.
Oh, good. Well, thank you, Kevin. And we're going to end with your the last track on this. It's called Facsimilate, Unlike You. And be well and enjoy your afternoon in New York.
Thank you. You too. Take care.